Okay, so where we are. So we are today we are going to talk about transit gateway. So what is transit gateway? Why this terminology came? Okay, so in our real time, okay, in our infrastructure, if you have a branch office in like Hyderabad, like head office in Hyderabad, another branch is Bangalore, one branch is Delhi, one branch is Chennai. Okay, so these all are the data centers, and you want a connectivity among them. So what we do, we choose a something called MPLS service. So what will happen? The local ISP, they will provide you connectivity till your office here. They will provide you local office then till here in Chennai as well and in Pune as well. Okay, so what will happen is once they provide you connectivity, so every site will have a separate network. Let's say you have 192.168.10.0/24. Okay, this site can be having network 192.168.20.0/24. Okay, then this site can be 172.16.0.0/16. Okay, or this site can be something 10.0.0.0/16. Okay, so all offices have different networks. So what will happen? MPLS, like if suppose you are taking MPLS service from ISP, so they will provide you connectivity. So what you can do is indirectly, logically, these offices will be connected like this, and you can do a routing everywhere. Every offices you will have a routers here. So this routers you will does a routing. Okay, routing means whatever this network is 10 dot network. If suppose let's say this is my office 1 2, this is 3 and 4. Let's say the office 3 people, they want to talk to office 1, so this route should be in their routing table. Similarly, the office 1 route should be in their routing table. So that's why when we use a dynamic routing means once they are connected, if you are using a dynamic routing protocol like OSPF, BGP, EIGRP, anything, so what will happen? Once you connected, so automatically all 4 routes, let's say in office 1, they want to connect to office 2, 3 and 4, then all their networks 1 and 2, 168, this network, so all the networks should be in their routing table. Then only a routing table. So routing table is very important. So they should have the route there. Then only the communication will be possible. So there is a routing protocols run behind that, and we use that. So the whole objective is the communication between 4 different data centers, regardless of the locations. Okay, they are into different location, and why we maintain different locations? Because we have offices there, we have employees sitting there, we have a business into metropolitan area cities. So we spread there, and if suppose you have a server here, so this server can be accessed from this user, like they all are the same employees. Okay, so every employee, they want to do their HR portals, they must have their salary stuffs, they must have their attendance, some company policies, their communications to the HR, emails required, for the communication, many stuff, many applications are required. So these all applications can be accessed from here. See, every branch office will not have the servers, so the servers will be someplace in the primary site. Okay, so all these branch users, they will connect here, and they will enter their data. So this is what happen in the real time in your infrastructure. Okay, but now here in AWS, let's say you have one VPC here. So in AWS, the data center, you just consider the one network is nothing but a VPC. Okay, let's say this is my VPC one. Okay, you in any region. Okay, let's say we are in US East 1, North Virginia. Okay, so you created one VPC here. you created another VPC, and you created another VPC. So 3 VPCs are there. So when we call the 3 VPCs, so every VPC will have a different network. So here also, that's why, guys, today's the evening session is very important. If you are not aware about the networking, what is this slash, what is this, then please attend that class. So that is, I'm going to explain all the network, like IP addresses related network. What is the network? What is the slash notation? What is the like public IP? What is private IP? So I'm going to explain that. So please attend that lecture. So okay, so now every VPC, now we know that we use some sort of CIDR. So let's say 10.0.1 10.1.0.0/16. Similarly, here I'm using something 10.2.0.0/16, another network, and here also I'm using 10.3.0.0/16. Okay, so 3 different network, 3 VPCs. So just think about, when you create a VPC, what are stuff required. With the VPC you will have a subnet, public subnet, private subnet. Then you will have a routing table, public routing table, private routing table. Then you will have a IGW, internet gateway, to reach to the internet. They can go this, and under this VPCs you will create instances, your servers, right? So every VPC should have their routing table, their internet, their IGW routing table, their subnets, and then under that instance will get created. And here also the same story. But now, can this instance talk to this instance within AWS? No, by default, no. Why? Because they are in different networks. They are in different VPCs. VPC means a different virtual private cloud. Okay, it is like a data center. Just think about that. By default, let's say your Office 1 can talk to Office 2. No, you need to take some sort of service in infrastructure, some ISP connectivity. You need to take that. But here in AWS, these all data VPC data centers, they already connected to each other. They are already connected to each other like this, with their internal cables and all. But still, your instances will not be connected. Okay. Now, apart from this, you have VPCs. Then also, you have your office. You have your infrastructure office, which you want to connect to the AWS. So if you recall our last lecture, you have two options, either VPN or either direct connect. Let's say you have another office here, that also you want to connect. So let's say this office is connected via VPN. Okay, this office connected via VPN to the AWS, and this office is connected via direct connect. Okay, direct connect. So how the communication will happen, like which VPC you are going to connect? So for that, previously, before Transit Gateway, there was one service of AWS that is called peering, VPC peering. So in the VPC peering, you need to have a peer between this and this. You need to have peer between this and this. You need to have peer between this. So every VPC, let's say you have 3. So every VPC should have 2 peering. VPC 1 should have peer with 2 and 3. If there is no peering, no connection will be happen. So there was a lot of challenges with that. So that's why Amazon came with something very beautiful feature called Transit Gateway. Transit Gateway is nothing but a shared location, transit. So what you need to do, you need to connect all your VPC 1 here, VPC 2 here, VPC 3 here, your VPN site here, your direct connect here. So this Transit Gateway is a common location, shared location, where Transit Gateway. So common location where you can connect all your VPCs, all your data centers, all your offices. So what will happen? The communication will be possible among this. It's because of the transit gateway. So I have some PPT here. Transit gateway. So connect VPC and on-prem network to a single gateway. See, on-prem means your offices. VPCs means different. Within AWS, you have multiple VPCs, and by default, VPC to VPC connection will not possible. Then transitive networking, elastic scaling based on network traffic, operate in layer 3 of OSI model. What is a layer 3? Network layer. Network layer means IP, network, router, routing table will come into picture here. So to manage AWS transit gateway, you need to maintain a routing table. Like if you recall yourself in here for communication between if office 1 want to connect 2 or 3 and 4, all their routes should be in the routing table. Similarly, every office should have 4 routing table, 4 network in their routing table. Then only communication will be possible. If suppose in office 2 in the routing table 4 office number 4 IP network is not there, then office 2 to 4 communication will not be happen, because the routing table don't have entries for that. Similar, exactly the same. When you connect a transit gateway, you need to update the routing table. In VPC 1, you should have a route of VPC 2. But here, the default, if you remember, in our transit gateway, not transit gateway, your internet gateway, while creating VPC, towards internet, we gave a route, 00 route towards your internet gateway, IGW, if you recall yourself. Why? Because you're asking 00 come, please send here. Similarly, in transit gateway, if you want to point to VPC2, then you need to enter that VPC2 and you need to point the next hop will be transit gateway. Similarly, for VPC3, just add the IP address and the next hop will be transit gateway. So this is a common place where all the connectivity will happen. Okay, and you need to define, update the routing table. So if I go back here, so without transit gateway, see how it was happening. Without transit gateway, if you have VPC 1, 2, 3, 4, direct connect, customer gateway. So you need to have a VPC peering between all this. VPC peering between 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 3, like this. So VPC peering was something like it was very like difficult. Okay, I think last year till last year VPC still many customers running with the VPC peering. Okay, but there was some lot of challenges. You need to have each VPC should have a peer with another VPC. Okay, so to alternate that, transit gateway came into picture. See, VPC 1, VPC 2, your direct connect, VPC 4, 3, whatever it is, just come and connect them here. Just create one transit gateway and do it. Okay, so transit gateway, what is required? Attachment. First, each connected VPC, VPN or direct connect gateway must be attached to the transit gateway. So you need to create one transit gateway here first. The first step, if you want to achieve the transit gateway, so you need to create a transit gateway here first. Okay. Now the second is association. Each attachment in association, each attachment is associated to exactly one route table. Route table can be shared between attachment. So you need to attach the route tables. Then propagation, routes to one or more route tables support static and dynamic routes. So you need to do you need to connect the routing table entries as well. Okay, attachment, association, and then propagation. So these 3 steps required to connect a transit gateway. So transit gateway, it solved many problems. Previously, just think about that VPC peering. It was a legacy technology. In the VPC peering, if suppose just think about the larger environment where you have 50 VPCs. So how you are going to, so 50 VPC means every VPC should have a peering with all remaining 49 VPCs. See how complicated it was. But now with the help of transit gateway, VPC peering, you just need to peer with the transit gateway. That's it. So this guy will, you can consider transit gateway is like the common person. He know the address of everyone. Okay, you know the landmark in every colony there will be such a landmark. So if you go to the landmark, you can reach to that particular address very easily. So this is the transit gateway, something like that. Whatever connection you have, your offices, your VPN connection, your direct connect, your other VPCs and everything, they should be connected to the transit gateway. And transit gateway will have all the routes. And in other VPC, what you need to do, if you want communication with the VPC2, just add the VPC2 route and give the next hop towards transit gateway. Okay, so this is what transit gateway is. So you got any idea, any questions here? Because I'm sure once we see the lab, you will be very clear with the transit gateway. Any questions so far?
So Nadeem, when you say these guys connect with each other, so do they connect with their private IP or public IP?
Private IP, private IP.
Their private IPs.
Yes.
But they are going across multiple sites, right? Site offices can be different, correct?
Yes. So the only thing is, when you call a VPC, see, this is a separate network. This is a separate network. This is separate network. Because same network you cannot put overlapping network, you cannot use anywhere in the networking. It will be loop. So every network should be a different here. So you need to attach those network to the common shared place, transit gateway. Then you can play around after the transit gateway.
So how does the transit gateway know that this? Because
Yeah.
when it comes to private IP, I can have a private IP myself, right? When I'm going to an internet,
Mhm.
but I'm defined. I mean, my identity is defined with my public IP.
Okay.
Correct.
So see,
That is
when
because
you are connecting your AWS, so you are accessing AWS as a public cloud, right? So from your console, you are accessing public AWS cloud. Okay. So now once you are here, then just think about AWS itself. So you want, if suppose these VPCs have a private IP address, this instance, and this instance have a private IP address. So from this instance to this instance, they can reach out via
got it.
private IP addresses, not a public. It is
Right, right.
apart from the public. It is happening within AWS only.
Sorry, I was missing this triangle in
Right,
my imagination.
right. So no public connectivity, just a private internal connectivity from here to here, here to here, here to here.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Nadim.
How?
So we need routing here.
Yes, we need a routing. Lot of routing here. So there are many complicated transit gateway labs I have seen on the net. So I decided to make it very simple and simple lab. So what we can do is, let me just do 1 second. Okay, so we will use something like this. Okay, so we will choose one region. Okay, let's say we are using US East 1, North Virginia, because by default we are into that region only. So in this region, we will create 3 VPCs. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we will give the name VPC1. Okay, and the CIDR will be, not, don't ask me what is CIDR. So CIDR will be 10.1.0.0/16. Then we will create only one subnet, because what we want, we need to do testing, right? So no need to create private subnet and public subnet for this lab. Just create a one subnet, and so that you can have one instance there, and you can see the communication. Okay, so I'm going to create one public subnet. Okay, so the IP address will be 10.1.0.0/24. Yes, 0/24, and I will also have IGW here. Okay, internet gateway attached to these guys, so that, and we will create one instance here under this VPC. Okay, and obviously you will have a routing table here when after public subnet and IGW routing table, right? So these steps we required. So I'm going to copy this whole same, and here this will be my VPC2. The CIDR will be 10.2.0.0/16, and my public subnet I will use 10.2.0.0/. See, when I say a public subnet, what does it mean? It means I'm connecting IGW to it, so inbound and outbound communication can be possible with that. Okay, and then we will have a routing table, and we will create an instance here. Similarly, another VPC. See, if you haven't done a VPC lab, then in this lab you are creating 3 VPCs. So you will be champion. You will become a doctor to be how to create a VPC. VPC 3, we will use this CIDR, and the public subnet we will use 3, and IGW and all. Okay, first let's prepare this, and once the instances are ready, then you just try to ping from this instance to this instance. It will never ever ping. Then we will configure a transit gateway. Okay, the next step is we will configure a transit gateway here. Transit gateway is transit gateway. So then what we will do, we will attach all VPCs to the transit gateway. This one, this one, this one. Then once you attach here, so transit gateway have all the information. It is nothing, just think like it's a routing table, a static routing table, where you put all the entry. This transit gateway know about VPC1, VPC2, and VPC3, but VPC1 is still not aware about VPC2 and VPC3. So now after, once you attach with the transit gateway, now the next step here will be, you need to update this routing table. You need to update this routing table. By default, there in its routing table, VPC1 entry will be there, which is nothing but the local. You need to add another entry, and there will be a 0 dot default route will be there, right? Default route for your IGW, towards IGW.
Yes.
Now the third route will be for the VPC2, but here the next hop will be towards transit gateway.
Yes.
Okay, similarly VPC3 route towards transit gateway. That's it. Similarly, in VPC2 also you need to do the same, and in VPC3 also you need to do the same. And once you're done with these all, then you can check this instance can reach to this instance. This instance can be reached. So this is as simple as, okay, don't go for much complications. Just do this lab. I'm telling you, you will be very much clear. This is a real networking. You're connecting multiple sites here. Okay, so let's move on. So Salman bhai, are you clear? What is our agenda?
Yes, yes, yes. So we,
Okay.
from one VPC, we are trying to reach out to
Another
through
VPC.
your transit gateway. So the packet will first go to the transit gateway and then reach out to the destination.
Exactly. So right now, just don't think about the transit gateway. We haven't created. Let's first build this lab. VPC1, VPC2, VPC3. Okay. So let's go back to transit gate. Sorry, your VPC, and go to your VPC. And here, see, there is a default VPC. So we are not going to touch that. I'm going to create new VPC. First, I will say VPC A. CIDR 10.1.0.0/16. Okay, go down, tag and all, let it be as it is. Created VPC. Okay, I am going to create another VPC. Just go here. So see, VPC A is there. So I'm going to create another VPC. Guys, we need to repeat many steps. So I'm going bit faster. Okay, VPC B. So my this one will be 10.2.2.0.0/16. So see, why this Colaveri, not why this Colaveri. So why this 10.2.0? So subnetting, if you're aware about the subnetting, you will come to know about this. So VPC B created. Now I will go back here and I will create another VPC. VPC C. It will be 10.3.0.0/16. Boom, your 3 VPC got created. Now, if you go to the VPC dashboard, okay, and look at here, you have 4 VPC. One VPC is default and 3 VPC you just created, and 6 subnet is a default one. So you need to create 3 more subnets, each VPC one subnet. So there will be 9 VPC subnets. Routing table, there are 4. Default is 1, and when you create one VPC, attach routing table will come with that. IGW right now it's 1 only. So you need to create 3 different IGW and attach to each VPCs. Okay, then your these 4 things will get ready. Okay, now when I go to the VPC, so you can do like this or like this. Okay, now see here. So alphabetically ABC. Okay, ABC. Can you see this? So these are your VPCs. VPC A, B, and C. It's just 1 minute. Actually, I'm just parallelly I'm updating the Google page also. Okay, so now my VPC is ready. All 3 VPCs created. So see, do it very properly and don't make yourself confused. VPC A, VPC B, VPC C, and make sure you should have a different networks here, right? भाई ऐसा spoon feeding दिए बात नहीं करे तो फिर क्या बोलेंगे? Okay, now let's VPC A, B, and C. So now let's go and create a subnets. Okay, so right now there are default subnets, so we are not going to touch this. I'm going to create a subnet under which VPC. First VPC A. So what will be my subnet? My subnet will be, let's say, public A. It is availability zone. I will choose 1A. Okay, and the CIDR I will choose 10.1.0.0/24. /24, and I have given name public A. So this is a public subnet with in A VPC. Done. Public A, it got created. I'm creating another subnet under B. Name will be public B. Availability zone. Availability zone. Let's choose another zone. Take another data center. Here I'm using 10.2.0.0 /24. Okay, my another subnet is created. Now the third subnet, it will be VPC-C. I will give the name public C. In preference, I am giving C, another data center within region, but another data center. 10.3.0.0, sorry, 10.3.0.0/24. So when I choose this one, so my IP address of instance under this VPC will be 10.3.0.1234 something. Okay, so that's mean I'm limiting myself so that the IPs will be released from that pool. So now my 3 subnets got created. So let me just clear the filter. So like this. Here we go. So can you see here now? I have a 3 VPCs now. I will show you like this. See? So everything is very clear. In public subnet A, it is associated to VPC A and its subnet is 10.1.this. Similarly, B and C. So I will just take the screenshot. So it will be clear. So see, public subnet A, it is in A, and here it is this one. Public B and C and D. Okay. So two things, 2 steps done. Now, before moving to route table, okay, let's create 3 internet gateways. Okay, right now I have 1 internet gateway. So let me create a new internet gateway. Create new internet gateway. So I will say IGWA, which is nothing but it will be. I will associate this to my VPC A. So create 1 transit gateway. See, it is asking attached to VPC. We will attach later. So the next, I'm creating another one. See, IGWA is there, but it is still showing detached. So now the next is I will create another one, IGWB. Create internet gateway. See, you are creating 3 different VPCs here. And then next I'm creating another one, IGWC. So now my 3 gateways are ready, 3 internet gateways. Okay, IGW1, 2, and 3. So now you need to attach one by one. So IGWA, I will go to action, attach to VPC. Which VPC? I need to attach to VPC A. Attach internet gateway. Done. Next, B. I'm selecting B. Go here, attach to VPC. Which VPC? B. See, your option is getting reduced there. So when I select C, I will see only 1 VPC there because each VPC you can attach 1 IGW. So now see, I attach here. So now I have 3 internet gateways now. VPC1, VPC, IGWA, IGW2, and 3. And can you see they all are attached to VPC A, B, and C. So this is what you need to cross check once while you do the lab. So you need to cross check, is I'm having the same stuff IGW created. Next, go to the routing table now. Okay, in the routing table, see, one is a default name which we are not going to touch, but here see, by default there is no name, so you need to give the name so you will have a clear understanding. So if I spread it, okay, now A. So I will just change this name, RT routing table A. do full name. Routing table A. Okay. Oops, it is not visible. That's fine, right? Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Routing table A. Then this will be my routing table B. Okay, and this will be my routing table C. So see here you are seeing some options here explicit. So if you don't want to see these options, so just go here and just disable it and come down. Confirm it. So those options will be gone. Now see, now this is very clear. Now your VPCs and A, B, and C. So your routing tables are here and you have given name, so it will look very properly. So my 3 routing tables are ready. Okay, now guys, I will just pick one call, 1 second. Okay, so we created routing tables. Routing table actually it's already created. We just edited the name. So, and you know when you say a main, so these are the main routing table. Okay, it is attached to. You cannot delete these routing tables. So if you go here and try to delete it, see what it will tell you. The following routing table are main routing table, cannot be deleted until the route table are sent to non-main routing table, or you need to delete the VPC, then only this routing table will be deleted. Okay, so now if you go select A and go to the routes, now see by default you have your own network. If you recall, what is our CIDR of VPC A? 10.1.0.0.16. Only one route is there. So you need to go and edit here and add default route towards what? Towards internet gateway. Where is the internet gateway? You have see IGWA, right? So you need to add the internet gateway. Just at least I will take one. Okay, so save changes. So like this, you need to attach in each routing table, you need to attach default route. See, this is telling that this routing table to go to the internet by using internet gateway. You're attaching internet gateway. See here also only one route. So you need to go to edit route. Okay, add here 0.0 route towards where? Towards internet gateway. See, B is coming, only one option is coming. Because each VPC we put it into different availability zone. Please remember, okay? Otherwise, your lab will not be success. So you need to be very careful what I am following, just follow the same. So in routing C, so I'm going to use IGW and internet gateway. See, that's it. So now these are the 4 steps which we already know about VPC, subnet, routing table, internet gateway. This is done. So we are not going to NAT. If you want NAT, then you need to touch Elastic IP and NAT gateway. But now we are not creating NAT gateways. So now our routing tables are ready and our routing is ready. VPCs are ready. So now what we can do is we can go ahead before creating transit gateway. We will go ahead and create one instance in each VPC. Okay, then we will see the communication. So I will go to the EC2 instances. Okay, but before that, any doubts here? Are we clear so far? We have 4 VPCs, 9 subnet. Out of 9, 3 we created, 6 are default. Leave about 6. We created 3. 3 VPCs, 3 subnet, 3 routing table, 3 internet gateways. Right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go and create EC2 instances. So now, Nitika, how to create instance? Now see, I'm going to create 3 Microsoft instances in front of you. So how simple it is, you can see this, because these labs are going to repeat many times. Okay. So now what I will do, I will go to the EC2 instance. And if I go to the dashboard, so here you will see there is no instances running, nothing is here. Okay, so what I will do, I will either the multiple options, you go to the instance and launch instances. Okay, so here it is asking just select the free tier, and you have option to select any web server or any, if you're comfortable with the Linux, Red Hat, choose that. But if you're not comfortable, just choose the Microsoft server, so you can easily RDP to that Microsoft server. Okay, so I'm just selecting this one, Microsoft server. Then which free eligible, so which instance type? So T2 micro is nothing but general purpose server. Okay, then now this is the correct important decision. So which VPC you want to create this instance? I want to create into VPC A. Which subnet? Can you see? If you remember, we created in each VPC we create only one subnet. That's why you are having only one option here, public A, US East 1. Remember? So one thing. And then can you see use subnet setting disabled? So if you recall yourself in last VPC lectures, so by default it is showing disabled. Means when your server get created, you will not get a public IP address on that. To enable that option, let me cancel it quickly here. I will show you what you need to do. Go to the VPC, because you want public subnet, public IP address to be enabled on your server. So go to the subnets, subnets, just select here, right click. Here there is option called, see, modify auto assign IP setting. Just check mark it. Enable auto assign public IP address. So when you check mark this, so every instance of your public subnet will receive an IP address. See, this is another type of security. So when you are creating your private subnet, then don't enable this subnet. So your server will never ever be public. Only just you need to give a NAT gateway and give the internet access. That's it. Modify, enable, it's done. So I'm done with this. I will go back to EC2. I know this lab is going to be lengthy. Okay, so EC2 instance, I will instances, launch instance, free tier, go back here, Microsoft instance, Done. Configure instance. I'm selecting in VPC A. And can you see now this option is enabled now? See, when you did a global setting in the subnet, so now it is enabled by default. Rest everything will be same. Add storage. So I will have a C drive with the 30 GB. That's fine. Tag. I'm going to say uh, public server A. So A public server. So at least we will know A means it is under VPC A. Okay. The tag I have. Oh, sorry, not this one. Say name A public server. Security group. Now say security group RDP. You need. So either you choose existing or create new one. So what I'm going to do, I will say I will create one common group, Microsoft public SG. SG means security group. Okay. So what we want RDP, and here okay. So here is something. So we need to do it from the RDP. Okay, for the lab purpose, if I choose mine only, but still okay. So we will come back and we'll see here. So for now, for security purpose, I'm just choosing my public IP address, and I will add another rule which is nothing but all ICMP, and I will say my IP address. So only I can ping to this server, from my public IP address. Launch, okay, and while launching key, so I will use Microsoft key, which I already have. Let me see if I have that. Download. Oh, see, I don't have. So I have a next gen key and server key. So, or I can create a new one. Create a new pair. I will say uh, MC or public server key. Okay, I will first download it. It is into the PEM format. Okay, when you download it, then just go ahead and launch the instance. So this key is required. See, this key is required when this public server key while generating the when you want to open the instance. Okay, so now my first instance is getting ready. Okay, till that time I will go ahead quickly and I will create another server. So free tier, go down, Microsoft, next VPC B, public subnet VPC B, add storage, same name I will Q B. Security group, I'm going to use existing one with just where is that security group? Why it is showing only one? I should see the other security groups which I created. Okay, so then I need to have 3 security groups. Not sure, somehow I'm unable to see the existing security group. Just now I created, right? So I can use, I wanted to use that same, but somehow I'm not seeing that. Not sure. So I will say BSG, B server, B server security group, RDP from my IP only, and then I will also use ICMP v4 from my IP only. Review, launch, and while launch, at least I can use this public server key. Acknowledge, launch instance. So your another server is getting ready. Okay, done. Then I will go back and I will create my third server under VPC C. Okay, I will go here, instance. So VPC C. Then you can see only one subnet is coming, and the public IP is enabled on this one. Add storage, same, and the add tag name I will say C public server. Security group, again I need to use C. Go ahead and change the uh, security group names. I created 3 security group for each. Then my IP. Okay, I got it. I got it. So why I did not see the security group? Because they are in different data centers. Data center A, B, and C. That's why I'm unable to see that. Okay. Review and launch. But this key is a common key you can use anywhere. Public server key launch. So now if I go back here and if I go clear all the filters, so now my 3 servers are getting ready. Okay, so 3 servers you need to create in each VPC. Okay. So one thing is sure, at least now what you can do is you need to wait till all servers come up and do the testing first. Will they able to reach or not? But if you believe me, they will not be reachable to each other. So till this server come back, let's go and configure transit gateway. What do you say, Salman bhai?
Yes.
Because to save the time, because otherwise we need to.
Sure.
Okay, so you believe me, and while you do the practice, you just take your time just to get these servers connected, and from this server, like from RDP to this server, and ping to this server from there, or try to RDP to that server on private IP address. You will never ever do that. You will not be able to do that. So it required some time. So now till that time, what I will do, let's go and configure. I will move back to the VPC and open into another tab. And we'll save our time here and we will create a transit gateway to communicate among those instances. So how to create transit gateway? The first thing, transit gateway. Okay, create transit gateway. Okay, use the name, my TGW, transit gateway. I will say shared resource, shared resources, and you have some couple of options here. So Amazon ASN, this is the default, DNS support, VPN, and default route table propagation, default route. So we'll leave it as it is. And can you see this also configure sharing option for across cross account? Let's say I want to connect my VPC to my account. So this is my account, and Salman account is different, Nazim account is different. So we can connect our accounts to each other. So when I check mark this one, auto accept shared attachment. So what will happen? We can create one common transit gateway and Nazim's account, my account, and Salman account. We can connect all accounts. You can have different VPCs, and we can communicate to our servers. That can be possible. So that's the beauty of this one. So when you attach, when you enable this one, so it means you are accepting the shared attachment. If someone shared me some attachment, so you can accept that. So there is something called here shared attachment, shared resource. So there is something called shared resource. So here, let's say I want to send my transit gateway request, a request to Salman. So okay, so shared with me, shared resource shared. So I will say create a resource. So let me say okay. So what you want to share? I want to share under which subnet? Let's say okay, subnets. So let's say under this particular subnet, what do you want to share? Tag is, let's say, name. This is something very advanced. I'm just giving you an example. Next, okay. Now here it is asking what you want to share. So if I permission AWS default permission subnet, okay, not this one. Next, allow sharing external principals. So account, can you see this account? So I need to enter the Salman account number. So see, my account is this one. Okay, so if Salman account is something, this number. So I need to share this one and select principal. So here you need to one second. Is it allow shared principal your organization only? Allow share to external principal. Okay, so we are sharing something to this account number. So once Salman accept, so when I send a request, right? So in Salman's resource access management, he will get something here, some notification here. Source shared with me. So you will get some notification. You need to accept that. Then I can share my transit gateway information. You understand how advanced this is? So this is something very advanced topic. So I just thought to give you. So, but right now we are not sharing any account, nothing. So let's move back to our transit gateway and transit gateway CIDR block configure on the transit gateway. You have no IP before. No, I don't want transit gateway CIDR blocks. It is something new option. Okay, now our transit gateway is configured. See, right now it's showing pending. It will take little bit time to get this. So you understand this one. So this is very excellent option to share any resources to another accounts. So specific resource share details. So what there are some option I'm missing here. You want to share the resource or you want to share, okay, transit gateway. See here, if I want to share my transit gateway to the Salman, so see, I'm sharing my transit gateway. So I will just select this one, then next, then they will ask to whom you want to share this account. So you need to give external, let's say external transit principal. So account number. So you need to put the account, external account, add next. So you will get an edit. So what will happen? You can attach two different accounts. My account is different, Salman account is different, Nazim account is different. In Salman's account, he has his own VPC, his own subnet, his own IP addresses and instances and all. So I can, my servers can talk to Salman's servers and Nazim servers. But very important thing is make sure their subnet should be different. We can sometime in if maybe some Sunday or something, we can if you are going, if you guys interested, you want to go very advanced level, then definitely we can connect each other. We can create this one shared VPC. Yeah, then I can control my I can allow Salman's IP address, he can allow my IP address in security group. We can play around with that. So it can be happen. It all depend on how much you are interested, how much you want to learn. So this can be possible. Okay. So transit gateway, yes, perfect. My transit gateway is available now. My TGW. So nothing. What I did, I just create a transit gateway, gave the name and created. That's it. Now attachment, very important. So you need to attach a transit gateway attachment. Okay. First thing, transit gateway ID. What is your transit gateway? This is my transit gateway. Okay. Attachment type VPC. What you are attaching here? Are you attaching VPC? Are you attaching VPN? Are you attaching peering connection or connect, direct connect? See, I told you, right? In transit gateway, you can attach all 4 types. So right now I want to attach my VPC. Okay. So tag, attach name tag, let's say A, DNS support, IPv6 support. Which VPC you are attaching? I want to attach first VPC A. So if you look at here, see, it is asking which subnet. See, VPC A having only one IP address. So I will say create attachment. Done. So my attachment done. I attach my VPC. So when I say this one, see, automatically one transit gateway routing table will come into picture. See, this one I did not create it. It is automatically came. What you need to do for each VPC, you need to create transit gateway. You need to attach VPC to transit gateway. Then automatically transit gateway routing table will come here. So right now, see, one routing table came here. So I will say TGW VPCA. No. Not VPC. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach our rest of the VPC. So right now I created attach VPC A. So now create transit gateway, or do I have option to? If I go here, details and tag. Okay, now create another attachment. To this TGW, I am connecting another VPC. I will give the name B, and my VPC will be B. And this associated subnet, create attachment. Done. So now if you go to the transit gateway, so okay, perfect. So transit gateway routing table will be one only, but your your VPCs will get attached here. Okay, now I'm connecting my another third transit gateway. So TGW VPC, I will say CC, and my VPC is this. Create attachment. So I have attached the VPCs. Okay. So first, what I did, I created a transit gateway. Okay. Create a transit gateway first. Next is you need to create attachments to each VPC. So this is a transit gateway is nothing but as we discussed, this is a shared stuff. So you need to attach all your 3 VPCs here. 1, 2, 3. Where? Here. So transit gateway attached. This lecture is going very lengthy. That's expected. But and the finally transit gateway. So now let's go and review the transit gateway here. So now, if you remember, the first transit gateway create, then attachment, then the association and the propagation. So now if I go here, association, can you see here? There are 3 VPCs associated to this routing table. Okay. Propagation. they all can, propagation means they can communicate to each other via these attachments. Routes, can you see all their three routes are here? Nazim, I think you are very clear with this one, because
Yes, yes,
it is like a routing table in some another place where all the route came there.
yes.
So now you need to go to each VPC routing table and give the reference here. भाई साहब आपको इधर जाना है तो please go from here. So transit gateway is, so finally the routing table, and see, we haven't done anything, we just attach this one, so automatically this association happen. See, this is very important association. Okay.
But for the communication, we need to give the route towards some
Exactly.
transit.
No, yes, that is our next step. So before doing that, so let's go to our EC2s. So we'll see what happened here. Are they ready? Yes, they are ready. So we will see the see now what we did is, now transit gateway work is done. We created a transit gateway successfully, and the propagation is enabled. It means any transit gateway can go to any VPC. Okay. So now I will now let's go here and our diagram and see here. So what we did, see, this guy was a different VPC1, this guy was a VPC2 different, VPC3. So right now VPC1 not aware about VPC2 and 3, similarly 3 not aware about 1 and 2, whatever their instance, whatever their IPs, they don't know each other. So this is a transit gateway. We created a common place. We created gateway. We attach all the VPCs to this guy. Okay. And now transit gateway no have the visibility with all the friends. Let's say Nitika, Nazim, and Salman. So these they are three different people, and I am the common one here. Let's say I am here. Okay, I know Salman, he is my friend. I know Nitika is my sir's daughter, and I know Nazim, he is my brother. So now I know them each other. But is Nazim know about Salman? No. Is Nitika know about Nazim? No. They don't know each other. So I am a transit gateway. So now what I need to do is, so let's say this is a Salman. So in Salman's memory, I need to say by default in Salman's memory, what will be there? So Salman know his name only, his local name and his stuff. He know how to go to internet and all. So I need to put that in Salman's memory that there is some name called Nazim. Is if he want to know about Nazim, then he need to go via me. He is Nadim's brother, so he need to go from here. Similarly, he need to add another entry, Nitika. So if he want to know Nitika, then from Nadim. So I become the intermediator. So transit gateway is now intermediator. He know all the stuffs. If VPC1 want to talk to VPC2, then they need to go via transit gateway. Guys, this is as simple as. Okay. Now let's go and connect to our servers. Yeah, connect RDP client, public server, get password, browse public server, browse decrypt. So I got my first password. So notepad is not coming. So I will say this is my server one, VPC A. Okay, this is done. So I need to take the password of the B as well. Connect RDP client and just get password, and you need to browse and give public server key. Now only the testing left. Okay, only the testing is left with us. So B, so this is actually the climax, so please don't miss it. So आखिर में heroine किसको मिलती है, you will come to know. And the third one is VPC browse. Salman bhai, you are alive?
Yes, yes.
I know you are looking with killer eyes. Yes, I am going to do this lab today. Okay, so this is the third one. So now I got all three servers. Okay, and all three servers are ready to RDP. So our next step is we need to RDP these three servers. Okay, and do the testing. Okay, so this is the last step I need to add. Okay, now let's go here. So now I'm here. I will take this public IP. We'll go to the RDP, remote desktop service connection. The public IP address here. Connect. Add and the password is this. So till this guy come, I will go ahead and open another server. Desktop. Connect. Nitika, you there or sleeping?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, that's good. Is it interesting or bored?
It's interesting, but a little bit is going over my head now.
Okay.
so
I know.
not-
I know. So if you grab 20%, then that's fine. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to grasp it.
Yes. No, I'm not expecting 100%. You will understand. At least the 20% if you know, but you need to wait some more time. Administrator, and I'm connecting to the third server. Sadanand, you there or sleeping? He's enjoying. Okay, so here are my servers. So now if I go back here, so I have a three servers. So VPC 81 is nothing but this is a VPC A server. Okay, so let me open the CMD. Not CMD. Again, what I need to do the ping command, I need to disable their firewalls first. Another work. ठीक है, एक बार we have to do this at least one time. So by default, firewalls are there. You need to disable these so that you can test the ping. Okay, so I'm in VPC A server. Change this setting. Okay. Full screen the sound. Can I go exit? I think I become full screen here. Salman bhai, any idea?
Sorry, what name?
I'm in RDP. I did a full screen, so now I'm not going to go back. So how can I?
So what's happening is because of this toolbar, the green thing that you're seeing on the toolbar, right?
Uh-huh.
When you click, it is actually taking you to the zoom thing instead of taking to the window screen.
No, I need to go. How can I exit from here? I need to go back to
Oh,
my computer back. Something different. Okay, okay. Taskbar.
escape and see
No, there is no option for escape.
on your keyboard.
Yeah, I'm trying.
This is happening because of the zoom. I'm saying. If you look at the green thing that is on your screen,
Okay,
right?
okay. Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Now
So
it is.
yeah, I have the option minimize. Okay, got it, got it. So this is one server, and the second server. Let me do for the second server as well. I will go here and I will just disable its firewall. Just guys, give me within 10 minutes. We are going to complete it because we are at the climax. So we just need to disable this firewall and start testing. It's not this one. I know it's getting very late, but this is actually, I can say, a summary of entire VPC. Is that correct, Saman?
Yes, yes.
You're
Yes,
doing
yes, yes.
everything here.
Complete.
Yeah, yeah, firewall defender something. How can I disable my firewall? Come on. Okay, when I search here, I need to just search firewall. So turn off. Okay, second server is done. Okay, and now the third server. I'm going to go for the third server. Can defender done. Done. So all the firewalls got clear. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to pick the private IP addresses of each server. So that I can collect. So for server A, my private IP address is something 10.1.0.195. For server B, what IP address? My IP address is something 10.2.0.221. And for server C, my IP is 10.3.0.248. Okay, now I will from server 1. Okay, I'm going to ping server B. So this is my server 181. So I'm going here, and from here I will just open the command prompt. cd okay, and let me ping this guy. Ping. Okay, are you able to ping 10.2.0.22, which is server B, this server? Similarly, server C, VPC C. See, we are not able to ping from server A to server B and C. We are unable to ping. Disconnect and let's test this one. 10.3.0.248. 10.3.0.248. See, it is unable to ping. So are you okay? Can you confirm, guys, like why it is not pinging? Anyone understand?
We need to give the route transient to the
Ex-
gateway route.
exactly. See, right now, see, I am in server A. From server A, I am unable to ping server B, and I'm unable to ping server C. And when I say server, it means you are into different VPCs. You're talking from different VPCs. So even you have all the transit gateway and all, but the routing table is a big part here. Now, what you need to do is your transit gateway is there, but now you need to go back to the routing table of each server. Okay, I'm going to the routing table. Oops. बाहर निकाल के फेंक दिया मैंने. No problem. 7SYY8. Okay, so this is actually third party authenticator for 8. So I'm here. So by default, okay, I'm I'm the routing table. Okay, now routing table A, B, and C. Okay, so I will go to the routing table A. Okay, and you know one more thing, from the server A, can I ping to the internet? Ping 8.8.8.8. Yes, I can. Can you tell me why?
Because of default routing towards the end.
Exactly. So you have IGW here. You attach a default route with IGW, but you are not able to ping your VPC B and C. So you need to go here, edit route, and say 10.2.0.0/24, which is nothing but your VPC B. And if you want to go there, go via transit gateway. Where is transit gateway? Transit gateway, and you have one transit gateway. Save changes. See, now you attach only B, so you need to attach the another also. So in the routing table A, if I go back, and meanwhile, let me just do again a testing. Now I added the route, right? I'm still not able to ping. Why? Because the return traffic is not coming. Because VPC2 don't know about VPC A. Got it? So you need to do on the both side. Okay, now I did only for the in routing A, I just added VPC B. So in VPC B routing table, what I will do, I will just add VPC A information. So now, right now default route is here. So here I'm going to tell you, boss, if you want to go to 10.1.0.0/24, right, then please take a transit gateway. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's do all our routing here first. So what I can do is there is another option. See, from VPC A, see, if suppose you have 10 more VPCs, so you need to add all the 10 routes statically one by one. Instead of that, what I will do, I will say any 10.0.0.0 network, please take TGW. So I will save my routing table. Instead of calling each subnet, I am just calling a broader subnet. भाई अगर इंटरनेट पे जाना है तो 0 पे 0 ले लो and use the IGW, और आपको इंट्रानेट यानी विद इन AWS जाना है तो just TGW ले लो. I just attach this one, save this. So I no need to attach all my different VPC subnets. So I just attach that one. So similarly, I need to go to the B, okay, and the same thing I need to do there as well. B and C. You just need to, like how we attach default route, right? Similarly, the internal routes. See this one. I will just go ahead and change this to 0.0 TGW and save. Done. And the third one, you need to go to routing table, routes, edit route, and here you just need to add the route. If you want to go to 10.0 all AWS network, please use transit gateway. Save changes. Done. So we added all the routes. So let's go and do the testing. From here, can I able to ping? I'm not able to ping. Not the problem. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, you know, go back to your security group. See how important the security group is. If you recall the security group, what I have done in the security group, I told ICMP with my public IP address only. Right now, it is going from private to private. If you recall, see, right now this ping, it is sourcing from this private IP address to private IP address. So which is not allowed here in the security group. So I will just go ahead in the security group and I will edit that rule. Okay, this is the C. I'm going to change the rule, inbound rule, saying that ICMP, all ICMP, I will say, instead of this, I will just say all zeros. Salon, you got this?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Because I have given mention their public IP address only, ICMP with the public IP address only.
Right.
So this is also one of this one. So edit inbound rule, ICMP. Oh, instead of public IP, I will say anyone can ping to my server. That's fine. I'm okay with that because this, and the third one is a BSC. This one. This is my third server security group. Inbound rules, and I will say 0.0. Anyone can ping to each other. Let me go back here. There we go. Excellent. Now can you see? I am able to ping VPC server B and similarly VPC C, and I'm able to ping to internet. Now if I go back, now let me go to the VPC server C. Okay, I'm in the VPC server C. Okay, and go to the CMD. Okay, and from here ping to whom? Ping to let's say 10.1.0.195. 10.1.0.195. Yes, can you ping? You see, if you ping means you can do anything. Now communication established. 10.2.0.22. 10.2.0.221. What is that? 10 to, okay, I need to use the ping. See how powerful the routing is. See, let's say in the two routing table, let me just give me 1 minute only. So what I'm going to do in the VPC, I'm just deleting that one of the route from the B. So let's see, are we able to ping there or not? See, I'm here in the routing. I will go to the routing table. In the routing table of VPC B, okay, I'm going to remove that 10 dot route. See this one, I'm going to remove it. Save. Now I will go back to, I'm in VPC server 1. So can I ping to 3? Yes, I can ping to 3 because 3 is there. But can I ping to 2? Can you see? The communication got stopped. The route is missing there.
Yes.
So this is called a successful transit gateway lab. Okay. So it's very simple if you go with the proper thing. And I'm telling you, if you do this lab, if anyone do this lab, they VPC in their pocket, the networking of AWS in their pocket. Not everything,
So,
at least the base is very clear.
so Nadeem bhai, one question here.
Mhm.
In the routing table, when you made this as a default route for transit gateway, right?
Mhm.
So we have, in your example, we have taken 3 subnets, right?
Right.
A, B, C. So if my requirement is, if A and B are non-sensitive and C is sensitive, can I apply a denial rule also there?
Obviously, you can control it from security group, or you can control it from network. This one, network ACL. You
Yes.
So
don't. You want to.
I'm asking specifically on this thing. I want only server A to access. I mean the.
Yes,
So,
that is possible.
you see what I'm asking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
okay. Let me show you here. So what you want from VP from here? You want this only can ping.
correct. And only this VPCB should be accessible by VPC 1.
No, this is VPC 1, VPC 3, VPC 2.
Oh, VPC 3, sorry.
Okay, so only this can, and you don't want VPC 2, right?
Correct.
Okay, then that's what. So what you can do is, that's perfect.
Add one more.
Yeah, so here what you need to do, just specify only 10 dot like 3 dot 0 dot 14 24. So from B only 3 can reachable. Okay,
So in the routing, okay. In the target system, we have to define that you can
yes,
allow
see,
only
exactly.
source as
See,
first.
why I have defined here 10 dot means is it's a broader subnet. So in this subnet, all your VPC B and C, everything is coming there. So if you want, you can just define a smaller subnet. Let's say, for example, okay, I will just clear your point. So what you want from VPC A, you want communication only to 3.
Correct.
B, you don't want C. So what you need to do is, you just go here in the VPC routing table of A. Okay, routing table of A. Go to the routes, edit route. Okay, instead of here a broader subnet, just give 10 dot 0 dot, no sorry, 10 dot 3 dot 0 dot 24. Okay, save. So now go here. From here, even you have everything, so just go and try to ping.
Nadeem, I think I did not communicate clearly. What I'm saying is, A is non-sensitive. A can go anywhere, but B can the third one, right? Third one can allow only one.
Yes, see, whatever the control you're talking about, everything can happen. So it is all play of the routing.
So can I put two rules in there in the gateway?
Yes, yes, you can put n number of rules. Okay, in the gateway you're talking about, in the transit gateway.
The transit gateway, yes, I'm talking about.
No,
the
no,
transit
no.
gateway.
In the transit gateway, you're attaching a complete VPC. If you recall,
Okay.
when you attach the complete VPC, the entire network is coming there. See, in the transit gateway routing table, if you go to the associations, propagations, can you see here?
Mhm.
You are attaching complete.
At the VPC
But
level.
yes, and you know, there is something, whatever you are saying, prefix list preferences. So again, this is
ACL
another
type.
one more. Yeah, it is like a ACL prefix list, is very advanced topic. So here
Yes.
you can control something. You can control some more thing. So you, Salman, you are thinking very much advanced.
That's okay. I'll
So
park my question for later.
yes. So, but what about this lab? So are we
Very
clear?
clear. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Create three
All the
VPCs.
plans.
Create three VPCs, internet gateway, routing table, everything individually, independently. Create three instances. See if they are communicate. No, they are not communicating. Create the transit gateway. Create attach them, and the routing table will be there. And just attach the routes here, and then see the communication possible. So now you connected three different data centers here today. Is that right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, perfect then. So we'll stop here, and Salman.
Nadeem sir, today's lab was very long. So is it possible to keep that subnetting class on Monday? Even my father's